Welcome to Germany.
I have gone to the country of Island Freeze.
What? In the middle of Germany?
In the middle of Germany.
Doesn't seem proper.
It does not. But we got two drinks. We got the strawberry daiquiri.
Classic.
And we got the Bahama Mama.
Not so classic. I think it's classic too. But again, we used our freebies for our membership on these. And so they come in these little sample sizes.
They do.
Instead of the full pour.
This one I actually finally get some alcohol taste. I mean, besides the straight Jim Beam that we had last night, this is the only like pre-mixed drink that I have actually gotten some alcohol in. It is pretty tart with the orange juice in it, but it's frozen, so it's delightful.
She's gonna have to hurry on the daiquiri because Mock Tower is right behind us. It's about to drop and blow a mighty wind this way. Is it like a daiquiri?
The daiquiri is
like
a normal daiquiri.
Like every daiquiri on the Las Vegas Strip?
This, you can't taste the alcohol in quite as much, so I enjoyed the Bahama Mama more.
Well, I'll give it a quick pull. Taste.
It kind of tastes off a little bit.
Kind of has a weird taste.
Like a plastic taste, like the machine.
They both do.
I think the Bahama Mama a little less.
I don't know, maybe they need to be stirred up a little bit, but it kind of tastes a little off to me. It's not the most delicious frozen strawberry daiquiri I've ever had. I'll say that. But, you know, when you're in Germany, what are you going to do?
Get a daiquiri.
Always get daiquiri in Germany.
Island drink.
Well, our last booth is Japan. You are in the dark here, but it is shady and cool at least. And Brittany just went through a fight.
There was a fight to get that.
The last booth.
Mainly with the cast members just being slow. I guess not cast members, but the employee just being slow.
Oh, it's been a day.
But anyway.
What'd you get from here?
This is the mushi goiza. It is chicken dumplings with a citrus orange sauce, I believe.
Sorry, the music's really loud here, so.
And then I've got matcha green tea ice cream with a sweet soy glaze. It was supposed to have an edible sesame cookie, but I don't think that we got that with this. So.
Oh, well, we better eat before it melts.
We shall see. All right, let's try it.
And they're out of forks too, so we're going old school style here. Pretty plain.
I don't get any chicken or anything from the flavor, like the filling. It's mostly just dumpling and the orange, like, glaze. It's okay. But really, yeah, it's just orange glaze.
Trying to see how much it is here. It's $5.75 it looks like.
Yeah, $5.75. This one looks like it has very little filling as well, so yeah.
It looks like you took the one with the big filling.
I would skip.
Now let's try the ice cream out.
I'm interested. I'm not a matcha fan, but we'll see. This is a decent sized portion of ice cream.
It is.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. That is awful.
Really?
That is the most off-putting taste. And then with the soy, I don't care if it's sweet or not. I'm not sure I can take a second bite of it.
Oh no.
That is the most off-putting flavor ever. I don't know if that's what it's supposed to taste like, but it is awful. It tastes like grass.
All right, let me try it. Now you've really got my hopes up.
That's the worst thing I've ever tasted.
What did you do here?
Like, I don't even know.
You got it all.
Who knew?
Spoon and... Who knew what?
I've had it's.
That's not great.
Yeah, the aftertaste is real bad. I want to wash it down with the chicken dumpling.
I may need a palate cleanser for that.
Yeah.
That is, it's a rough go there. Ironically, I can wash it down with an apple dumpling. Chicken dumpling. Oh. Double-sided. It's okay. It basically has no flavor to it other than the sauce that you put on it.
Yeah.
I would say this booth is probably a miss or a skip.
Yeah.
Next time around. Well, that's it. Looks like we're headed out.
I think so. We pretty much accomplished what we wanted to.
We'll do a little review in the car.
Sounds good.
And throw in some clips. Yeah, of what we thought overall of Food and Wine. But goodbye, Busch Gardens, for now. Yep. Hope to be back soon.
Yep. We're on our way back from Busch Gardens WIlliamsburg, and we figured we'd give you a little recap of our past few days down there. So, what do you think of the park overall?
I always love Busch Gardens.
Yeah, the sign says that it's voted the most beautiful park in the world, and I would agree with that. Like, it is a very, very pretty park, well landscaped, and it's like all the SeaWorld and Busch Gardens parks, right? They're beautiful. They are really pretty parks.
They're not functional.
I like.
But they're pretty.
Well, it's not a spoke and hub setup. Like, it's just one big circle, so that makes it a little difficult to navigate. But
even when they're round like that, you know, like a Universal Studios Florida or a Animal Kingdom, they seem to be designed with better traffic flow. But I think we'll get into that in a second.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, I enjoy the theming of Busch Gardens WIlliamsburg. I like it's a little world showcase, like, with the countries around the world, but I think they do a pretty good job of having, like, some decently well-themed lands.
Oh yeah, I think
that other parks don't always have.
No, it's great. So. It's more than your Six Flags or your Cedar Fair park.
Yeah, for sure. So, I like the coasters at Busch Gardens WIlliamsburg.
Yeah, if you take the coasters for what they're worth,
yeah, I think
it's a great coaster lineup.
I think they have solid coasters. A little something for everybody, I think. Although we did discuss how there's really no, like,
there's no family
middle
rides.
of the road family ride.
They got water rides, they got roller coasters, and they got kids rides.
And that's about it.
Scattered in there.
Yeah.
There's the traditional, like, drop tower and swings. And
yeah.
Bumper cars.
Right.
There's carousel.
Right.
The scrambler. There's all those regular things, but there's no dark ride.
Yeah.
Now the Dark Castle's gone, there's no dark.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a solid lineup of coasters. There's, what, 8 in total?
Something like that. With, I think, counting Grover Express.
We did, so there was Pantheon, Tempesto, and Apollo's Chariot in Italy. There's the Griffin in France.
Yes, Griffin and then Invader.
And Invader.
But
Alpengeist, Verbolten, and Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah.
So that's 8, like, major coasters, and then 9 with the kiddie coaster. So yeah, I mean, it's a solid lineup of coasters for sure. I like that.
But outside of that, there's not much. With Dark Castle gone and with the Irish, it used to be a simulator ride.
Yeah.
Right where the grease booth is for Food and Wine.
Right.
That used to be a simulator ride, and it's no longer around either. So
right.
They're really lacking, and I think we know what the park is beautiful. It's relatively easy to travel. It's nice to walk. It's a beautiful walk in the park, essentially.
Yeah.
We know what the problem is.
What's the problem?
With Busch Gardens.
The staffing.
With SeaWorld. Parks in general. The operation.
They're just one step below the Disney and Universal.
They're not one step.
They're not one step. They're several steps below. Like, if Disney and Universal are, like, the top, I
mean, this is better than your regional theme park, but if you want to be Busch Gardens and SeaWorld and be a world-class entertainment and theme park organization, like, you should be shooting for Disney Universal standards.
And this is not that.
No.
Their dispatch time on one of the coasters was about 2 minutes. I think the clock, the countdown clock was 2 minutes, and they did not make the 2-minute clock, like, ever. And they were running, like, well, Tempesto can only run 1 train per track. And it's a small coaster. Like, I think it only really seats, like, maybe 20 people tops.
Well, like we said, or I said earlier, they're used to like today crowds were low.
Yeah.
For way lower than we thought they would.
There was very little wait on any ride we did today, and it's Memorial Day Monday. But yesterday, crowd levels were pretty high, I would say.
If they had been operating at Disney or Universal operation speed, there would have
been no waits today. And yesterday, like, there probably wouldn't have been anything over half an hour to 45 minutes tops. But they're not operating at that kind of speed.
No.
They also, their rides seem to have significant downtime. I mean, I know it happens at Disney and Universal too, but like, when the park opens at 10 o'clock and your top ride is not ready to open at 10 o'clock, like, there's something wrong.
Well, we knew when we got in, we were like, oh, Pantheon's not even testing yet.
Yeah, so.
And it was 10 o'clock.
It was 10:30 until they started letting people in line for that ride, so. Yeah, and it just, there's no reason for it. Like, you could do testing before a 10 a.m. start time.
I guess, and finally, let's get to the nitty-gritty.
Yeah, the reason we
You can finally compare one to the other. You completed?
The reason we came down today was a food and wine festival. We've done food festivals at many parks, actually. Like, we've done Disney's Food and Wine, but Disney has multiple festivals if you include Flower Garden holidays around the world.
Kind of what we do on this channel.
You've seen many a booth review from us.
And if you haven't, you can go back and watch them all.
But we've also done Mardi Gras, which is a similar style food festival at Universal Studios. We did do the all-day dining plan at SeaWorld the last time we were there, and ate at all the different quick service restaurants in SeaWorld.
Yeah, someday we'll get down to their festival as well. They do a food and wine as well.
So, the Food and Wine Festival it was decent. There were definitely hits and misses. There were some good dishes there. And Disney, to be perfectly honest, and Universal have hit and misses dish-wise as well. So not every single dish is going to be fantastic all the time.
And here's the difference. You're paying less.
You are paying less. The price points were a little bit, like, better for sure. I would say if I could have the Disney food quality at the Busch Gardens prices, like, that would be perfection right there.
Yeah.
Like,
but there were some good dishes. Brazil was good all the way across.
Brazil was really good, but again, I think that's the only one that was, like, really freshly prepared right there at the booth. Lots and lots.
Operational issues all over the place with their food and wine. One cashier was not moving at top speed. Does not care.
There were several times I walked up to booths and, like, handed people receipts to collect my food items, and they practically ignored me for, like, a good 30 seconds.
I like it when they, and I saw this a couple times when I was with you, but they took the receipt, they looked at it, and then handed it to somebody else.
Yeah. Like,
what's the point? Why are 4 of you back here? I don't know.
Yeah, the operation side definitely leaves a little bit to be desired, but yeah, I think my only complaint was that there was a lot of the same food items. Like, I can't tell you how many dishes we had with pineapple and coconut in it.
Every dessert.
Every single dessert was pineapple, coconut, something or other.
The only one that was different was that Mexico.
Not every cake has to be kept like freezer cold. Cakes can be kept at room temperature. Like, I understand it was a hot day, but
hopefully you're selling enough that it can be.
The Lamington and the pineapple upside down cake were like the two cake options, and both of them were so cold to the point that the cake was like dry and crumbled apart. Like, you couldn't even really get a good bite of it. So that's unnecessary. And then, but yeah, some of my favorites were definitely the Brazil booth. I really didn't mind the Jamaica booth. I don't think I gave it quite as good of a review as maybe the Brazil booth, but like the flavors were pretty decent. I really liked the shrimp taco at the Mexico place last evening. That was a really good taco and good sized portion.
I will say the one thing, the drinks outside of the beer are not great.
Yeah, do not waste your money on a cocktail. Almost every single cocktail we had was a pre-mixed cocktail. There was like, I couldn't taste the alcohol in almost any of them. Maybe the Bahama Mama, I could taste alcohol a little bit. Other than the Jim Beam, but that was a straight shot of Jim Beam with no mint julep to it at all. So, but everything else all came out of a pre-mixed container, and yeah, the cocktails were not good.
Yeah, but the beer
is fine. The beer is,
because the brewery's next door.
Yeah, the brewery is next door, and you know, Virginia has lots of beers. Not that they were all Virginia beer, but yeah, but the beer is beer. You also are paying $14 for a beer that you can get across the street for $4. So
yeah, that's what it is.
But it is what it is. It's festival food, and it's in a theme park. So,
would you go back
to Food and Wine Festival?
No.
Yeah.
Line it up for next year.
I mean,
our pass will still be good.
I
would.
You know me. I can't like turn down a food festival. So yeah, I'd go back, but it might not be my goal to hit every single booth. I might try new items only, or returning like items that I remember being good this year. So
I think you go to Busch Gardens to enjoy the ambiance of Busch Gardens.
Yeah.
To walk around, to get out of the house, to try a few food dishes.
Yeah.
And don't get so caught up on the rides, because you're going to get disappointed by the speed at which, if you think that this is going to be a fast-paced adventure like it is at Disney, you're coming in with the wrong thing, because you're going to have to pack your patience with this. We say pack your patience with Disney World.
Yeah.
This is a different level.
This is different in that the crowds might be a little lower. Well, they're definitely lower than Disney.
That's why it's frustrating.
That's why it's frustrating, because it should be so quick and it should be painless, but it wasn't quite. One last thing about the rides. They had a challenge going on this time to celebrate some anniversaries of coasters, and it was Ride the 5.
Yep.
And 5 of their 8 main coasters were all like having milestone birthdays. So they had a challenge that you could ride, if you could ride all 5 coasters in an hour, and then post a picture. I don't know if you maybe got a prize or something like that.
Yeah, it was like posted on Instagram.
Posted on their Instagram. Let me tell you, that challenge is impossible, because there's no way you could ride 5 coasters in an hour, unless maybe you had the quick queue. And even then, I'm not so sure, because again, with operations, like, they don't even have people directing the quick queue, so it's a little bit of a free-for-all. Yeah.
I saw one person do it. I think you could do it like on a random Wednesday, like in spring.
Yeah.
But it's a ton of walking. You would have to be booking.
You would have to book
because there's no direct ways, because it's built over a ravine.
Yeah, so the 5 coasters are all spread out. You definitely have to like walk the whole park to get to 5 coasters.
Right.
That alone in an hour, plus ride time, plus their slow operations time, it'd be pretty difficult. But interesting challenge. I just don't think it could be done. So, anyway.
Challenge accepted.
Well,
Too bad it's over.
Yeah, it ended today, but
we did get a little scavenger hunt.
we did. There was a little scavenger hunt with some trivia, and they gave us some stickers at the end. But overall, I thought that it was a good trip, and I would definitely go back to Williamsburg.
Yeah, I don't know whether we'll make it back down this summer. We definitely want to cover Christmas Town, I think, this year.
Yeah, so we'll be definitely back in the late fall, winter, if not before then. But we have platinum passes, so we've got some other parks, other SeaWorld, Busch Gardens parks on the list that we might be headed to. So
it's going to be tough to go to Orlando and not go to Disney, Bernie.
Yeah, well, I don't think that's happening. So overall, it was a good trip to Williamsburg this weekend, and please like and subscribe if you enjoy these car chats and our reviews of theme parks, and we will see you in the parks.